friends and welcome to Pendulum Video. Today we'll be discussing daily current affairs of 1st July 2020. So guys, quickly join the session and also ask your friends to join this session. And those who have not subscribed to our channel Pendulum Video, please subscribe it and do not forget to press the bell icon to receive notifications. Today we'll be discussing very important news, and one of the most important news is that Government of India has banned 59 Chinese mobile apps. And there was demand from people that the apps like TikTok and other, they should be banned. So government has taken cognizance of the event, and these Chinese mobile apps, which includes TikTok, Hello, ShareIt, WeChat, these have been banned. And the main reason for banning these apps is the sovereignty and integrity of India, defense of India, security of the state and public order have been taken into the consideration. And also at present, concerns have arisen for aspects related to data security and protecting the privacy of 130 crore Indians. This also threatens the sovereignty and security of the country. The Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, which is under the Ministry of Home Affairs, has also sent recommendation to block these malicious apps. And also the Computer Emergency Response Team, that is CERT-IN, which is Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. It has also received many representations from citizens regarding data security and privacy violations on public order issues. And as we all know that this type of apps, they ask for permission for different things. So when you give permission, so somewhere it affects your privacy. So data privacy is an important, data security and privacy is an important thing which has to be taken care of by the government. And this CERT-IN, it is under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And you have to comment that where is this CERT-IN located. Quickly comment the correct answer. It is located in New Delhi. And what is the purpose of this CERT-IN? From the name you can imagine that Computer Emergency Response Team, this is related to cyber security threats. Okay, now moving to the question part. Recently, the government has banned 59 Chinese mobile apps. Which of the following is one of them? TikTok, Hello, ShareIt, and all of the above. Quickly comment the correct answer. The answer is very easy. Option D is the correct answer. Moving to the next news. June 29, National Statistics Day is celebrated in India, and due to COVID-19 this year, this Statistics Day was observed through video conferencing. On this day, the birth anniversary of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis is celebrated to commemorate his invaluable contribution in establishing the national statistical system in India. This year, the theme was Achieving Sustainable Development Goal number 3, that is ensuring healthy living, and Sustainable Development Goal number 5, that is gender equality. And on this occasion, P.C. Mahalanobis National Statistics Award have been instituted by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So a question can be asked that P.C. Mahalanobis National Statistics Award has been instituted by which ministry? So the correct answer will be MOSPI, that is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. The P.C. Mahalanobis National Statistics Award for 2020 has been conferred on Dr. Chakravarti Rangarajan, who is the former governor of RBI, for his outstanding contribution to the national statistical system in India. Now moving to the question part. On which day is the National Statistics Day celebrated every year? Quickly comment the correct answer. 5th June, 10th June, 20th June and 29th June. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? Option D will be the correct answer. 5 June, we celebrate World Environment Day every year. On 20th June, World Refugee Day is celebrated. World Refugee Day is celebrated. Moving to the next question. National Statistics Day is celebrated on the occasion of the birth anniversary of which of the following? P.C. Mahalanobis, S. Visheshwarya, K. Kamaraj and Sardar Patel. Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer for this will be option A, that is P.C. Mahalanobis. And Sardar Patel, on the birth anniversary of Sardar Patel on 31st October, we celebrate National Unity Day, which is also known as Ekta Divas. And National Unity Awards, Sardar Patel National Unity Awards have also been constituted for those who have contributed to the national integrity and unity, and also these awards were constituted in 2019. Recently, the nominations for these awards, that is National Unity Awards, have been extended to 31st August. The nomination has been extended, and for this award, any organization or an individual can nominate any individual for this, and a person can himself nominate also. So moving to the next question, recently who has been awarded the PC Mahalanobis National Statistics Award 2020? C. Rangarajan, Urjit Patel, Y.S. Reddy and N.K. Singh. Quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer will be option A, that is C. Rangarajan. Urjit Patel has been former governor of RBI, and N.K. Singh, he is the current chairman of 15th Finance Commission, and this Finance Commission is a constitutional body. Now moving to the next news, World Asteroid Day. It is celebrated every year on 30th June. The purpose of celebrating this day is to raise public awareness of the asteroid impact threat and to inform the public about the crisis communication actions to be taken globally. It is held to commemorate the anniversary of the Siberian Tunguska event that took place on 30 June 1908, and this event was the most damaging known asteroid related event on Earth. And asteroids, what are these? These are the small rock-like structures that revolve around the Sun and are majorly found orbiting around the Sun between Mars and Jupiter. Moving to the question part, on which day is World Asteroid Day celebrated every year? Quickly comment what will be the correct answer for this. 1st July, 15th August, 16th September and 30 June. Guys, keep commenting the correct answer. The correct answer will be option D, that is 30 June. On 1st July, we celebrate National Doctors' Day to honor the contribution of doctors in India. And 15th August, we all know we celebrate our Independence Day. And 16th September is celebrated as World Ozone Day. Moving to the next news, India-France Foreign Secretary level consultations were held through video conferencing. From Indian side, Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Singla participated, and from the France side, Francois Deltray participated in the talks. The major highlights of the talks were the progress of multidimensional cooperation between the two countries was reviewed, and also in the context of COVID-19, views were exchanged on regional and global issues of mutual interest. India welcomed France joining the Coalition for a Disaster Resistant Structure, and also France welcomed India's participation in the United Nations Security Council in 2021-22. And as we all know that recently India has won the elections at UN Security Council for a non-permanent seat, and the term for India will begin from 1st January 2021. So India's participation will be there from 2021 to 22 in United Nations Security Council. And we have released a separate video on this India's non-permanent member, election of India as a non-permanent member to UN Security Council. So you can watch that video. And in that we have discussed in detail about the elections at UNSC and the major issues that are revolving around this UN Security Council. Talking about France, its capital is Paris. You can see it shares border with Italy, Switzerland, Germany, Luxembourg, Belgium, and over here Spain. And its major border, it makes the coastline, you can see it is with Mediterranean Sea. And also if we talk about currency of France, it's euro. And now comment quickly who is the current president of France. Who is the current president of France? Yes, Emmanuel Macron. Moving to the next news. Pradhan Mantri scheme for formalization of micro food processing enterprise has been launched, and Food Processing Industries Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal has launched this scheme, and this plan is a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. For this, an investment of rupees 35,000 crore will be made under this centrally sponsored scheme. This will provide an employment to 9 lakh skilled and semi-skilled workers. Also, ready-to-eat products will be considered as a possible opportunity under this. Moving to the question part. Recently, Pradhan Mantri scheme for formalization of micro food processing enterprises has been launched by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. How many rupees are proposed to be invested under this scheme? So quickly comment the correct answer. 30,000 crore rupees, 40,000 crore rupees, 45,000 crore rupees and 35,000 crore rupees. So what will be the correct answer? The correct answer will be option D, that is 35,000 crores. Moving to the next news. National Fertilizer Limited started 5 mobile soil testing laboratories, and this was inaugurated by Chairman and Managing Director of National Fertilizers Limited, V.N. Dutt. He flagged off the first mobile lab from the company's corporate office in Noida. So this National Fertilizer Limited is located in Noida, and the first mobile lab has been flagged off from this office. These laboratories will test soil samples near the farmer's house for free, and this will help in increasing the soil fertility, and it will also encourage the farmers to utilize the resources better. And these mobile laboratories, these are equipped with state-of-the-art equipment for soil testing, which can detect nutrients in the soil. See, at present time, many farmers, they do not know that how much nutrients are required in the soil, which type of nutrients are lacking in that soil. So they, whatever is available in the market, they usually use that fertilizer, which is basically urea, and it has lot amount of nitrogen, and most of our soil lacks in nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. As we all know, these are the macronutrients which are required for the soil, for the plants they are required, and the soil majorly lack in India with nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. And what we currently have in India is the fertilizers consist of more nitrogen than phosphorus and potassium. So for farmers, it is important to understand that the particular soil in the field lacks in which type of nutrient. So these labs will be very helpful, as they will be testing the soil sample near the farmer's house, and that too free of cost. So farmers don't have to go anywhere for that. So this is a good initiative. National Fertilizers Limited, it is a Mini Ratna company. It produces chemical fertilizers, biofertilizers and industrial chemicals. This was established in 1st September 1979, and also the soil health card scheme of the government. The soil health cards are issued to the farmers, which contain the detail of all the nutrients which are present in the soil and the nutrients which lack in the soil. Moving to the question part. Recently, the chairman of the National Fertilizer Limited has inaugurated the first mobile soil testing laboratory at which place? Quickly comment the correct answer. Hyderabad, Patna, Noida and Ahmedabad. What will be the correct answer for this? The correct answer will be option C, that is Noida. Moving to the next news. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh started a new web portal for issue of NOC, that is No Objection Certificate, for power, oil and gas exploration projects. These NOC will be issued for power projects and research, survey, exploration, exploitation activities in the Indian territorial waters and exclusive economic zones. So what is this territorial waters and exclusive economic zone? Suppose this is the coastline of India, and from this coastline, the 12 nautical miles distance, this is the territorial water of a country. So for India, we can say that distance from the coastline of India to the to 12 nautical miles in the sea is the territorial waters, and a country has full rights in the territorial waters, while the exclusive economic zone, it is the distance from the coastline in the sea till 200 nautical miles. So the distance of 200 nautical miles from the coastline is the exclusive economic zone of a country, and in this region the country has full and exclusive economic rights. You cannot say that a country has full rights but country has exclusive economic rights. A country can go for research, survey, exploration, exploitation in that particular region. That is exclusive economic zone. And the exclusive economic zone of a country does not overlap with the exclusive economic zone of another country. The ministry had earlier also started such a portal for obtaining no objection certificate for aerial survey. And the online system, it will establish a transparent, quick and efficient mechanism to process these proposals, which will be received through this portal. And this portal has been developed with the joint effort of National E-Governance Division, Bhaskaracharya Institute of Space Applications and Geoinformatics, and the National Informatics Center. Moving to the question part. Recently, which ministry has launched a new portal for the purpose of issuing NOCs for power projects, research, survey, exploration, exploitation activities in the Indian territorial waters and the exclusive economic zone? Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Finance. So quickly comment the correct answer. The correct answer will be option A. And this portal is under the Ministry of Defense. Now moving to the next news, the government launches the 7-year floating rate saving bonds 2020 scheme, which will start from July 1st. And the floating rate saving bonds, it will enable a person living in India or a Hindu undivided family to invest in these bonds without any upper monetary limit. And the interest on these bonds will be payable semi-annually, that is on 1st January and 1st July of each year. The coupon will be paid at 7.15% on 1st January 2021. Now moving to the question part. Recently, the Government of India has launched the 7-year floating rate savings bond 2020 scheme. Which statement is not true regarding this? So kindly read the question carefully. This question is asking which statement is not true regarding this. So you have to read the first statement. It will pay interest at the rate of 2% per annum. Second, it will enable a person living in India or a Hindu undivided family to invest in taxable bonds without any monetary limit. 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, none of these. So which statement is not true regarding this scheme? The correct answer will be option A, that is 1 only, as the interest is payable semi-annually. Moving to the next news, scientists at National Chemical Laboratory Pune, they have developed a portable oxygen unit, and this oxygen unit, it does not require oxygen cylinder, and it can be used in homes, hospitals and remote rural areas. And also with the help of this unit, the demand for ventilators and oxygen cylinders can be reduced. And also in the rural areas, this portable oxygen unit can be sent, so that this is also accessible to those people who are living in rural areas. And this oxygen unit will prove to be very important in the event of COVID-19 pandemic. Talking about National Chemical Laboratory, it is an Indian government laboratory which is a constituent member of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, that is CSIR. It is a lab of CSIR, constituent member. It was established in Pune in 1950. So whenever you come across any institute or any laboratory of government, then that becomes automatically important from exam point of view, as its location can be asked. Now the question part, where is the National Chemical Laboratory located? Chennai, New Delhi, Kolkata and Pune. Quickly comment the correct answer. Where is the National Chemical Laboratory located? The correct answer will be option D, that is Pune. Moving to the next news, Ministry of Home Affairs has issued new guidelines for Unlock 2, and during this unlock 2, the activities have been allowed. Some of the activities have been allowed in the non-containment zones, but the lockdown will remain in effect till 31st July in containment zones. Okay, and in the non-containment zones, that many activities have been allowed, and it will become effective from 1st July 2020. So the guidelines for this unlock 2 are metro rail service, cinema hall, gymnasium, swimming pool, amusement park, theatre, bar, auditorium, assembly hall, they will remain closed. Also, the social, political, sports, entertainment, educational, cultural and religious work and other large circles will not be allowed. That is, mass gathering will not be allowed, whether it is related to political, sports, entertainment, educational, cultural, whatever. And also, schools, colleges and coaching institutes, they will remain closed till 31st July. And as per the guidelines, the night curfew deadline is being relaxed further, and the curfew will remain in force from 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. Also, the shops, they can take more than 5 persons at a time, but the people have to ensure that they maintain the required physical distance. The training institutes of the central and state governments, they will be allowed to function from 15th July. Now moving to the question part. Which ministry issues guidelines regarding unlock in the country? Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Ministry of Women and Child Welfare and Ministry of Home Affairs. So this question is very easy. This has been in news from a very long time. The correct answer will be option D, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. So friends, here we have covered the daily current affairs and related important questions of 1st July 2020. I hope that you are daily following this, and if you like this session, please like it, share it as much as you can, and if you have any doubt, you can mention that in comment box. You can also join us on our Telegram channel, and also keep preparing well. All the best guys. Thank you so much.